engineering control will be having boilers. So you have to boil the milk for more than 100 degree and then you will cool that milk. So these are the two major process after you take the milk. How to achieve these two parameters are, you have to boil it to 100 degrees centigrade. So you need a sensor. You need a large boiler. With that boiler you will be having a temperature sensor. So these components comes under engineering control. Imagine you are not having a temperature sensor. What happens? You will be generating more heat than what is required. The heat will lose and eventually your energy will lose. So there should be a temperature sensor. This is one example of engineering control. Another one example. In every shopping mall and every apartment, do you have fire alarm system? If some smokes are detected, in a cinema theaters you might have, it automatically senses that and it switches on the sprinkling system. So there will be water sprinkling. This is example of engineering control. Engineering is a technological or technical thing. Now, in operational control, second phenomena is there. That is called management control. What does management control is? They make set of standards and procedure for working in an organization, which I will discuss in detail. Generally, the definition for operational activities or operational control speaks with respect to environmental aspect. It speaks on policy, objective and target. Even maintenance activity should be included in operational control. Specifications for operational control, maintaining document procedures is a part of operational control. When you need a document in an organization, ISO 14001 says that if you want to document everything, you will be having a huge volume of document for an industry. Example, the process. What process should be followed for switching on the generator? Generator should be switched on when the normal power is not available. So there will be a procedure. If you are keep on writing that procedure, it will be a huge task. Operation control is not only making procedures. If something works well, you don't need to draft it or you don't need to bothering on drafting it. If something does not goes well, then you have to draft to maintain this document. So this is the purpose of maintaining the documents in an organization. Next thing B is stipulating operational criteria. Prioritizing what activity should be done first, second, third. So it is prioritizing. It's called stipulating the operational criteria. Third thing is establishing maintenance and procedure. Not only manufacturing place, what are other place? The operational control is applicable for suppliers and contractors also. Contractors are not the part of the industry. Today someone can be the contractor, tomorrow you can give the contract to another person. Even though the contractor should also abide the operational control. Yes, the definition is, in an organization, if you want to reduce risk, you have to follow operational control. If this operational control is not monitored, what happens? Risk will increase. Not only in the manufacturing process, even in effluent also. Imagine the water is not flowing in a pipe. So you have to remove the stuck up. In the sense, that is the engineering control options which you will be using, and I will give you example for that. An organization follows operation controls, they can prevent pollution from its operation. They can reduce the risk. This is the second point. Reasonable assurance for environmental objective. The environmental objective can be met if proper operation controls are there. So this is what I said. What are the things which will come under operational control? Fire alarm. Somewhere if you are stuck in fire, you just need to press this button in order there will be a fire alarm to other persons also. So this is one of the operation control. By not keeping this fire alarm itself, you can run the industry. But what is the purpose of this? In order to reduce the risk. The equipment such as scrubbers. Can you remember scrubbers? Where I have explained scrubbers? Under the topic of emission, pollution, emission air emission. So if toxic air, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxide, if it is emitting, you have to remove that from the air. For that, what you will use? Scrubbers. So the using of scrubber comes under what control? Operational control. Filters, precipitators, clarifiers comes under wastewater treatment. Biological and chemical treatment remove the emissions and discharge levels. Whatever process you are doing for this comes under operational control. Alarm or shut off valve. It will automatically manage the pressure. It will release and it will hold the pressure. If you set for particular value, it operates according to this. This comes under the operational procedure. Specific conductance, temperature maintaining comes under this. So routine preventive maintenance program also comes under operational procedure. In engineering control is technical or frontline process and practice. Engineering control is purely technical. Now, what are the activities, products and services which comes under this is pressure relief valve. This is what I said. Can you see this valve? Can you see a spring here? This spring is attached in a pipe. In a pressure cooker will automatically release the pressure, no? This is one of other example of pressure valve. If the pressure is much higher, it releases. So this is a part of engineering control. Next thing is emergency shut-off system. This is used in water treatment plant or wastewater treatment plant. Containment valve. They contain air. Some containment valves are used for soundproofing. Theater is an example. Theater is a sound containment. The sound will not go outside. Pigging technologies. Have you heard this name? What is pigging technology? This is used for, this fluid is a highly viscous fluid. That means oil. Oil you take, it is a viscous fluid. It might stuck or it might frozen at some places. Imagine your temperature is reducing to 10 degree. You have an oil conveyor system. What happens? The oil will stuck. You need an external force in order to push that one. So this is called pigging technology. Oil supplying industry, they use this technology in order to push this highly viscous fluid. If they are stuck at somewhere, can you see this? Some force is pushing from one side. So this is a pigging technology. This used in cleaning industrial pipes wherever it is stuck. Second thing is administrative control. Controls are less direct. You cannot directly measure the administrative controls. They are generally written policies, training and supervision. You have to follow certain procedure when you come into college. So wearing ID card is a policy of the organization. Certain policy will be there in order to wear safety helmet. Wearing safety helmet in construction, either it is engineering or operational or administrative. Wearing helmet. Administrative. So there is no technical thing which is happening. So these things are written policies, procedure, training and supervision. Comes under administrative control. That is why they say it as less direct. Why they are followed? Why administrative control is? In order to prevent or detect. It should be detective or preventive. So if you are not wearing ID card, what happens? Outside people can get into your college. They can do any illegal activities. For preventing that, everybody has to do that. So this is one of the things. So it is preventive. That is why they say it as whatever administrative controls they do is preventive. Yes, then detective. Preventive controls block negative environmental impact. So this is one of the thing. And emergency shut-off system is one of preventive operation. Smoke alarm. This is one of example I have given. Shut-off valve system is preventive. Smoke alarm is detective. After catching the fire only, the smoke alarm will shout. Something has to catch fire. So the event already happened. That is why it is called detective. Before any event is happening, whatever you do is called preventive. Requirements of operational control. What are the requirements? If an organization should smoothly run, no need to force unnecessary documental procedure. If the system works well, then no issues on that. Third thing is components. For what are the purpose you use operational control? First thing is for preventing pollutions. Second thing is legal requirements. It will comply legal requirements. If better control is available, you will be having less pollution control activities. Emissions will get reduced and legal complications will get reduced. Continual improvement. If you follow operational standard, continual improvement will be there and you can easily achieve the target. The controls may be of electronic. What are the types of control? You can do it electronically or mechanically. It can be routine preventive maintenance program or monitoring and observation of instrument. ISO 14001 in class 4.5.1 they have given. Monitoring and measurement has to be happened in regular basis, not one day or 2 day. Every day the monitoring should happen. This is the key characteristics of operational activities. What are the things they should monitor? Environmental conditional indicators, performance indicators, EPI, environmental performance. How you measure an industry that either it is performing well or not. So I have explained in one class. So the same performance has to be measured by routine measurement. Whatever performance indicators are there which you have to do it or measure, monitor on regular basis. Everything you have to measure. Key characteristics, operational activities has to measure. You should record the track performance of operational control, etc. I will give you in one slide that how an industry controls and measures. In further slides I will explain you that the monitoring equipment shall be calibrated and maintained. Every equipment shall be calibrated. Some standard values will be there. Imagine some instruments are not working properly. Example, weight machine. So you are standing in the weight machine, it has to show the exact weight. Some weight machines will not show the weight. It has to be calibrated. Checking that either it is working correctly is called calibration. Every instrument used in the industry has to be calibrated. So this comes under the maintenance. Records shall be retained. You have to document periodically for compliance. If you are running an industry, what are the things you should do? So I will explain this. Imagine you are manufacturing gold manufacturing industry. What are the things they should do in this industry for monitoring? Now there is a flow sheet here. For manufacturing gold, you have to first process. What are the process you have to do? Raw ore. What do you mean by raw ore is they will cut the rock. Rocks have gold. They will provide explosion and they will cut down the rocks. Then you will be having a belt conveyor. This system will be processed one by one. I am not going to explain in detail. I will just tell you the process how the gold is being taken. When they are cutting, you will get some waste and after getting that they will burn. What happens? Melting process will be there. So during the melting process, at particular temperature, gold will get melted and it will be separated. Other things will be there. They will be taken as tailings. When you burn the raw material for the gold, you get gold. Whatever rest of the things what you get is called tailings. So this tailing will be separated and after this process you will make this kind of gold biscuits. Can you see this gold biscuits are there? Now for this process, what are the things you will monitor? Things required for manufacturing is cyanide, caustic soda, etc. These are all required for manufacturing. For energy, how they use energy for this whole process? They use explosives. Explosive is one part of energy. Where they use this energy? For extracting from mountain. They need gold from mountain. There they use one type of energy is called explosive. Diesel and petrol are required for running the generators, electricity, coal, etc. Every process has to be monitored and measured. Monitoring involves routine surveillance or observation of operation. Whatever has happened, you have to monitor. That is called observation. If satisfactory performance is there, then it is okay. You have to document that. If anything goes wrong, it has to be detected and the problem has to be addressed. Can you see this? There is a manufacturing plant. There is a control office here. If the smoke, whatever is let out, it has to be monitored and measured. By using sensors, those information will be documented here. Can you see this? A separate office is there. There is an exhaust. The air pollution will be measured and monitored. It will be recorded in this system. The company has to do this. Who does this for people, or who does this air monitoring system for people? Central Pollution Control Board. They observe this air quality monitoring in remote place. They have some monitoring instrument. All the industry should have this instrument and they should monitor. So this is what highlighted here. Quantitative readings has to be measured during an emission. So running environmental management system without monitoring and measuring is an example of without headlight. If you are going in a vehicle during night, that is the same phenomena when an industry is not measuring and monitoring. They will be not aware that what pollutions they create. Now, this is a systematic way how an industry should monitor and measure. First one is a factory. They need building or infrastructure to make. Second thing is they need an office to manage all the official documents, monitoring and administrative work. Third thing is store, where they need to supply. Now, how to monitor this whole three component? By using wireless communication. Currently they are doing. And through this router, the connections are made. How many connections has to be made? Can you see this? There should be a software. In your college, you have ERP software. In every industry, they have a software. Have you gone for any vehicle maintenance for two-wheeler, or have you visited for your four-wheeler vehicle maintenance? They will mark it in a system. They will ask your name. They will ask your identity. They will mark in a system. So they have a systematic way of how much vehicle came to our industry today. What are the process they do? Every industry should have a software. Then they should have modes. In how many modes it should be operated? What are the modes here? A mobile. They should have an iPad and a computer. These are the three modes where you can use for monitoring purpose. Next thing is data has to be stored. Where the data is stored? In cloud. If it's stored in cloud, anyone can use that document. How many people require that document? Monitoring document? 3 people. Who are they? Manufacturing place, office, store. In office, they say that today 100 number of orders you have to supply for the client, X client. So if you are entering there, it automatically has to record and it has to reach the store. From this environmental monitoring host, this is a processor. How many items are connected? Alarm paths. If something gone wrong, everyone has to the SMS or calls. So that is why this router has to be connected with call alarms, SMS, email and audible alarm. An organization should have this much of alarm paths. National disaster management. Before 20 or 15 or 20 days, heavy rainfall. There will be a heavy rainfall. Take care of yourself. Like that, National Disaster Management Authority will send alerts. Not only they will send through SMS, they will broadcast in public channels. They will go to all harbors and ring that alarm. So these are different modes of alarms which will be used for monitoring and measurement in a industry. Next thing is environmental monitoring. What are the sensors they will have? Air monitoring sensor, water quality, pH balance. So these are the types of sensors they will have. Monitoring object. What are the objects? If you are having a door, you will be having optical sensors. UPS is also a monitoring object, yes or no? If automatically power shut off, the UPS will switch on. This is monitoring system. These are the examples you can understand by this. So environmental management system has to connect with all these activities. Benefits of monitoring and measurement. ISO 14001 will have some periodic reviews. First one is evaluate effectiveness. Either system goes in an effective way or not. Next one is minimal requirement for standards fulfilled. Then verify extent for organization, stakeholders and legal requirements. Either it is met or not, you can review. If you are monitoring and measuring, you can review the suitability, adequacy and efficiency, effectiveness of EMS system. Before working, you will set an objective and target. Either it is working or not, you can be aware only if you have monitoring and measuring system. Assess the performance. So these are further points. What are the benefits you get from measuring? Now, this is what environmental performance indicator, which I have told. What to monitor or what to measure is the environmental performance index. What are operational performance? From raw materials, how much raw material is letting into an industry. From there you have to monitor and measure. Management performance indicators, you have to do environmental condition indicator. These three things has to be measured. Then factors to be considered for monitoring. There are 4 factors: overall conformance of operation, tracking process for objective and target, environmental performance indicators, etc. So these are routine maintenance. Certain things are periodic, certain things are routine. Periodic is after some particular period you can monitor, is called periodic. It might be 3 days or 4 days. Every 4 days you have to monitor. That is called periodic. Routine is every day. Whatever you are measuring every day is called routine. Whatever routine is emission of air, discharge of water, solid waste. These are all routine. Then energy usage is electricity. Chemicals you handle, you stored, disposed. These can be routinely monitored, etc. You can understand from this. These are the further points which